Betty's Summer Vacation, Act 1, Scene 1. Sound of the ocean. Mid-morning, a summer cottage, breezy-looking, inexpensive but functional summer furniture. Pleasant, soft colors, inviting. An upstage door leads in from the front of the cottage. Inside, there are a number of doors leading off to bedrooms. 4 doors in a cluster, one by itself. There's a door off left that leads to an outdoor deck and the outside. Primarily a living room, but an open kitchen is also part of it. A woman, Betty, age 29, comes in with her friend Trudy, age 28. They are carrying suitcases.
Wow, this house is great.
Isn't it? I knew you'd like it.
Oh, and it has a great deck, and you can almost see the ocean.
She comes back inside.
Yeah, it's a comfy house. I love that. It's so great to be out of the city. The pace is so much slower here. Smell the air. There's salt in the air. It's from the ocean. I love the ocean. I am so sick of cement in the city. You smell the air in the city and you smell car exhaust and those fat and healthy pretzels that those vendors sell in Midtown. But here it's all healthy. I can't wait to eat only healthy food. What is tofu exactly? Well, we don't have to eat tofu. We just have to eat vegetables and fish and maybe chicken, but not put butter on anything. Well, maybe on a piece of bread with some sugar on it. Do you ever do that? My mother taught me to do it. Isn't it gross? But it gives me energy. Gee, I really love the seashore.
Trudy, I've told you I hoped you wouldn't talk too much on this vacation.
Really?
Trudy tries a few seconds to be quiet. Betty looks around, checking out the various bedrooms. Trudy starts talking again pretty soon.
What day is today? Saturday? Oh, what a long ride it was in the car. Traffic really freaks me out. Everyone in these cars trapped, unable to move. Did you ever see Fellini's 8.5? That's what happens in the beginning of the movie. But then Marcello Mastroianni, he's so handsome. Why aren't there any American men like him? I'd marry them in a minute if they'd have me. But lots of men don't like it if you talk too much. But I could probably have my mouth wired shut. At least if that's what Marcello Mastroianni wanted. Anyway, he's in this traffic jam and nobody's moving at all. And eventually he just rises up and floats up out of the car. And it looks like he's escaping the awful traffic jam. But then it turns out someone has attached a rope to his leg. And so he's really still tied to the earth. And it doesn't look like he's going to escape at all.
Mm-hmm. Listening to you is like listening to the radio.
Really? I wonder if I should have a show.
Now I want you to practice quiet. Pretend you're a monk or a nun or something and you have to follow the grand silence. Can you do that?
Sure. Which bedroom should I have? Well, which one is closest to the sound of the ocean? I love to listen to the sound of the ocean.
How can you even hear it when you're talking?
Well, I hear it right underneath my talking. It's kind of like they say if you have a puppy and you're training it to sleep alone on a blanket, you should put a ticking clock next to it and it'll think it's its mother's breathing. But I don't think a puppy's that stupid, do you? And plus, it certainly wouldn't work with a human. I'd either think this is a ticking bomb or I'd think this clock is too loud. I won't be able to sleep with this racket. Maybe I should order a pizza. Isn't it scary about germ warfare?
What does a pizza have to do with anything?
Well, if I was hungry... I don't suppose there's food here, is there? We probably have to go to the store. I love to go to the supermarkets outside the city. The aisles are so wide and comfortable, and the checkout people say, thank you, and so on.
Yes, we'll have to go shopping. I think I need aspirin and maybe ear stoppers.
Yeah, then you won't be able to hear the ocean. I love hearing the ocean. I'm so glad to be away from the sound of the city. Car alarms. Has a car alarm ever stopped a car from being stolen? I doubt it. It just goes on and on. Oh, oh, oh,
Why don't you take a nap?
I just got here. I'm too full of energy. Oh, look, here comes another roommate. Or maybe he's a serial killer. I hope not.
Enter Keith. He carries a large shovel and a hat box and a suitcase. He's 28 to 32 years old, fairly attractive, dressed in khakis and a plain sports shirt.
Hi, I'm Keith. Are you Helen and Susie?
No, I'm Trudy and this is Betty.
Hi.
I hope you're not a serial killer and that shovel's for burying people. And what's in the hat box? Not ahead, I hope. Oh, that's another old movie I like, Night Must Fall with Robert Montgomery. He's Elizabeth Montgomery's father from Bewitched. Isn't it amazing how many children of people in show business go on to have successful careers? Like, talent is genetic for real. As well as, of course, it opens doors for you if your parent is in show business. Well, he keeps a head in a hat for the whole movie, and then you find out what he's been doing. Gosh, you look startled. Is it because I've said something outlandish, or is it because you really are a serial killer and you're guilty?
No, I'm not looking startled. Please don't look in the hat box. It's private. It has hats in it. And I go everywhere with a shovel because what if my car gets caught in a snowdrift?
But it's summer.
Well, eventually it will be winter again. And plus my car could get caught in a sand dune.
Uh-huh.
Why did you ask if we were Helen and Susie?
I'm sorry, I meant Betty and Trudy, I guess. I mean, I've never met you. I've only met the owner of the cottage, Mrs. Siezmagraff.
Oh.
Wow, you're really cute. Do you have a girlfriend?
I believe in celibacy.
Well, that shut her up.
I'd like to go to my room now. Do you know where it is?
We haven't chosen rooms yet. Why don't we go look and see what we want? There are 4 rooms together, then that one over there by itself.
Keith kind of bolts over to the room by itself and goes into it with his hat box and shovel, shutting the door behind him. Trudy sits down, stunned. She starts to cry.
What's the matter?
I think he's horrible. What does he mean he believes in celibacy? Is he a monk or something? And what's in the hat box? And why does he have a shovel? Maybe he really is a serial killer.
Am I doing this?
Sorry, that's the sound of laughter. I told you too late. You actually come in now.
Did you just hear something?
It sounded like a laugh track.
Oh God, he's weird. He brought a taped recording of people laughing. What's the matter with him?
I don't think it's him. Keith, you're not playing a tape of anything, are you?
I'm busy now. I can't talk.
Why is he so weird?
Enter Mrs. Siezmagraff. She's 45 to 55, a vibrant woman in bright clothes. She has a large sun hat on and sunglasses.
Hi, everyone. Isn't the cottage great? Have you chosen your bedrooms yet? I want the smallest one. I shouldn't really even be here. But my husband just died and we lost the house and I don't really have anywhere else to live but here. Plus, I love young people anyway. What was that laughter? Did you hear it?
I think it's laughter from a sitcom.
Oh, well, that's all right then. So, are you surprised to see me?
Well, yes. I mean, aren't you renting the house to us? Do you mean you're going to be staying here with us?
Yes, isn't it a kick?
We're afraid Keith may be a serial killer.
Oh, well, I'll know when I meet him. I'm a very good judge of character, especially men's characters. My husband died of cirrhosis of the liver. Do you think he was an alcoholic? All my friends do. I could never tell. Sometimes he'd beat me, but you know, he was always sorry, so I always forgave him. Forgiving is important, don't you think?
I'm sorry. I find that you and Trudy seem to talk similarly. Why is that?
Well, she's my daughter.
Oh, Mom, I didn't want anyone to know.
Trudy slams off to her room.
You're Trudy's mother?
Yes, but we don't talk much because her father incested her when he was drunk and I never did anything about it because I was codependent. I mean, what should I have done? Broken up the family and gone on welfare?
You're Trudy's mother?
No, not really. Well, yes, but we haven't worked it through yet. She doesn't like to see me.
Well, when you said your husband died, why didn't Trudy react?
She's very disconnected from her feelings. That's why she talks so much. Even in the cradle, on and on she went, saying absolutely nothing. It was really annoying. We used to leave her alone for hours at a time and just put this big clicking clock next to her. Wow, I'm starved. Is there any food yet?
No, we haven't gone to the store yet.
Well, when you go, get me about 12 bagels. I eat them all the time. There's no fat in them, you know.
Bagels, right. I just thought about something. Haven't you already met Keith? I mean, the one you said you'd know if he was a serial killer when you met him. Didn't you meet him when he applied for a share in the house? I thought you met all of us.
Yeah, I met him. Which one was he? The big macho one or the sort of sensitive one with the hat box?
He's the one with the hat box.
Oh, I don't think he's a serial killer. Do you? Does he say he is? It isn't Trudy who thinks he's a killer, is it? She thought her father was a sex pervert, and he wasn't. He was just drunk. So she exaggerates. I don't believe anything Trudy says. She's worthless. No, she's wonderful. But I think Keith is fine, don't you? Is he here?
She knocks on Keith's door.
Hi, Keith. How are you? It's Mrs. Siezmagraff. I'm here to share the summer with all of you. Isn't that great? Keith? Well, he's quiet. Gosh, since I'm here, there'll be one less bedroom. Well, maybe one of the people due to be here will be killed in the car crash. Although traffic was moving very slowly. Maybe there'll be an earthquake. Except we're on the East Coast, not the West Coast. Of course, there are earthquakes on the East Coast.
Please, I feel you're talking too much.
Well, fuck you.
Mrs. Siezmagraff storms off to Keith's room, slams the door. Inside, she and Keith both scream. She comes out of the room, goes to the another door, goes to another door, goes inside, slams it shut. Enter Buck. He's the macho one, handsome, muscular in jeans and sleeveless t-shirt. He carries weights and a 6-pack of beer.
Hi there, I'm Buck. Where's the party?
Well, this is it, I guess. Hi, I'm Betty.
Hi, I'm Buck. You want a beer?
No, thank you. It's sort of early in the morning.
Yeah? I think I'll have a brew. Hold this, would you?
He hands her a weight. She holds it, then drops it down to the ground because of its heaviness. Buck opens a beer. He hears that.
What was that?
I don't know. There seems to be a laugh track in the house.
Cool. You like flavored condoms?
No, I don't. I prefer that people get tested first.
Buck picks the weight back up, sips his beer.
Yeah, but then they could go have sex right after the test, so you never know. Really, do you? When you go to the store, give me some condoms, okay? I only got 25 left. Where should I put my weights?
I don't know. On the ground?
Buck comes up very close to Betty. His body is inappropriately close to hers. Very seductive.
I mean, which room is mine?
Oh. Well, there are 2 left. That one and that one.
If you don't point when you say that one and that one, I don't know which one you mean.
Oh, sorry. There's this one here and the one at the end of the hall on the left.
Great. You want to have sex?
Really? I just met you.
Well, if you change your mind, I haven't got my rocks off since this morning. That laughter is kind of annoying. Can you do anything to control it?
I don't think so.
Shut up! Well, I'll see you later.
He exits to his room. Betty is momentarily overwhelmed by the people she's just met, almost has to shake off the strange energy. Maybe we hear the sound of the ocean again.
Gosh, there's only one room left and there's still another person to come. Abigail, I think.
The phone rings.
Hello? Who? Who died? Oh, a car accident. But, gee, that's a shame. Is this Abigail's mother? No. Her masseuse? Really? Were you in the car with her? Uh-huh. Well, were you massaging her while she was driving? Really? No, I'm not saying you caused the accident. I'm just saying I think a massage should be given on a massage table and not in a moving vehicle. Well, perhaps I am rigid, but I'm not dead either, am I? Hello? Hello? Sorry.
She hangs up.
Gosh, how strange.
Scene 2. Later that day, Trudy and Buck come in from outside in wet bathing suits, drying themselves.
Oh, the ocean was so refreshing.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I love being out of the city. It's so fresh here by the ocean. You know, where life began with the fish crawling out of the water and developing backbones and then becoming monkeys or dinosaurs and then eventually humans.
What? Yeah, you're real pretty. You know that?
Thank you. My father always thought so.
Well, he was right.
He just died, apparently.
Really? That's cool. I mean, that's too bad. What do you mean, apparently?
Well, Mrs. Siezmagraff told me.
Uh-huh. Wow, all this talk about the ocean really makes me horny.
We weren't talking about the ocean, we were talking about death.
Whatever. Shut up!
Were you ever molested by your parents?
Is this kind of foreplay talk? Wow, you're kinky.
No, it's not kinky. I'm opening up my soul to you.
Don't do that. Open up your bathing suit to me.
It doesn't open up, it comes off. You're a pig.
Oink oink. You want a brew?
Brew? You mean beer?
Whatever.
Cool, yeah, whatever, brew. I hate the way you talk. You're an idiot.
I don't care. Let's just have sex, okay?
You're just like my father.
Wow. Kinky.
It's not kinky, it's pathetic.
Whatever turns you on.
Stop saying that. Nothing turns me on. I like Keith more than I like you. He's more sensitive.
She knocks on Keith's door.
Keith, do you want to come out and talk for a while? Bug is bothering me.
I'm busy now.
Well, can't you come out?
Keith comes out with rubber gloves on, which seem to be bloody.
I'm doing an operation now. What do you want?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted some company.
Well, I'm sorry. Now isn't a good time.
Keith goes back in his room.
Keith is pretty weird, huh?
Yeah. What did he mean in operation?
I don't know. You know what a doctor does. He must be a doctor or a veterinarian.
Yeah, he could be a veterinarian.
She knocks on his door.
Keith, are you a veterinarian?
I can't talk now. Leave me alone.
Wow. I got a boner. You want to see?
Please, you're disgusting.
Oh, you love it. Here, feel it.
Stop it. This is sexual harassment.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Did you see Oleana? It was a cool play about sexual harassment. I love it when the guy finally punched that bitch. Pow, pow! Right in the chops. That was a good play.
I didn't see it.
I have pictures of my penis. Do you want to see them?
No, I don't. You have pictures? Yes, I would like to see them.
They're in my room. Hold on a sec.
Buck bounds off to his bedroom.
I'm glad you're dead, Daddy. I'm glad. What is funny about that?
It sounded corny.
Trudy screams at the sound of the laugh track voices now speaking.
Here are my dick pics.
They sit down on the couch and look at his photo album.
This is when it's only semi-erect, and this is morning hard-on, and this is me pissing.
Very nice. I think I don't want to see any more pictures of your penis.
Making you hungry for the real thing, huh?
No, that's really very far from what I was thinking. I think I want to become a lesbian.
Cool. I could dig it with 2 chicks.
I want to talk about religion. Unitarianism seems a nice religion. Put your penis away, please.
Oh, you're a tease. I'm so horny now. You gotta help me, Trudy.
Buck starts to nuzzle her. Trudy pulls away. Before things can go too far, Betty comes in carrying several bags of groceries.
I'm back.
Hi, you get the beer and condoms?
Yes, Buck, I did.
Cool. I got a raging hard on.
Really? Maybe you could get shots of estrogen. It might subside.
Yeah, you wish.
Betty, have you seen Mrs. Siezmagraff?
You mean your mother? No, isn't she here?
I don't know where she is. Should we tell her about Keith?
Heath? What about him?
Well, how he seemed when he came out of his room.
How did he seem?
Well, he had on bloody rubber gloves. Why were they bloody?
What?
Keith had on bloody rubber gloves.
Goodness, why?
Well, to protect his hands, probably. Shut up!
Oh, dear, I have a queasy feeling about Keith.
You're probably just horny. You want to get it on? Trudy's been fucking cock tease.
You're totally gross. In what way is that funny?
It was so true. It was funny.
Ah!
Shut up!
Enter Mrs. Siezmagraff in beach caftan.
Hi, everybody. I just got stung by a stingray.
Mrs. Siezmagraff collapses on the floor in a heap to laughter from the voices. Everyone stares down at her. Keith comes out of his door, still with his bloody gloves on. He joins the others in looking down at the collapsed Mrs. Siezmagraff. Scene 3, evening. Preparation.
Hold on 1 second. My computer's going to die, so let me just get a charger.
Hey, speaking of the devil, evening preparations for a nice dinner. Candlelight. Betty is cooking. The dinner setup is probably off stage. Mrs. Siezmagraff comes out, all dressed up in a floor-length gown that hides her legs. She looks pretty, if a bit garish.
I have these enormous red welts on my upper thighs. It's really unfortunate. I guess if I have sexual relations with Mr. Vanislaw, we better keep the lights off. Or he could be blindfolded, I guess. I've never done that, but I have to slide up here. But people find it exciting, I'm told. I once saw this movie about a sorority hazing, and they showed these freshman girls this bowl of wiggling worms. Then they blindfolded them and fed them what they assumed was the worms, but it was really just spaghetti. But the girls didn't know, and they choked and vomited. Just had a terrible time.
Sorority hazing. How unusual.
Yeah, I guess so. I have no idea what the movie was. I think that was the only scene of it I saw. It seemed to be from the 50s. I think the difference between the innocence of then versus now is that now they just go ahead and feed them the worms and not bother about switching to spaghetti. Isn't that sad? I feel something's been lost. But, oh well. We have someone coming to dinner, so I shouldn't let my feelings plummet down to the cellar, should I? La-di-da. Oh, for the life of the swan. Is that the saying? Oh, for the life of something.
Who is this Mr. Vanislaw?
Well, I found him hiding in the women's changing room. He had a camera and was taking pictures. He said it was harmless, just for his personal use. Some of the women hit him, but I think, different strokes for different folks. That's such a good phrase, don't you think? I like men who like women. They're my favorite kind. Oh, that Buck, he's real cute, don't you think?
I think he's an idiot.
Really? Oh, everyone tells me I have bad taste in men. Ah, here comes Mr. Vanislaw. Now, Vanislaw, yeah, that's it. Okay, yoo-hoo, over here.
Mr. Vanislaw enters. He is over 40. He is wearing a raincoat and nothing else except sneakers. He is maybe unshaven, very unsavory. Hey, that baby was hanging. With his back to the audience, he opens up his raincoat and exposes himself to Mrs. Siezmagraff. She seems enchanted. Betty screams in horror.
Oh, Mr. Vanislaw, you're a card.
She looks closer, near his genital area.
Oh, what an interesting tattoo. Is that the devil? I love where his pitchfork is pointing. It's very playful.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, you've brought a derelict into this house and a sex maniac.
Look at my dickie. Shakes himself at Becky. We can still only see his back.
Really, I can't permit this. Please close your raincoat.
Oh, Mr. Vanislaw, not everyone has a sense of humor, so maybe you better keep your raincoat closed, at least for now. Oh, I want you to meet my daughter. She's taking a nap in her room. Why don't you go in there and introduce yourself to her?
All right. With energy and purpose, Mr. Vanislaw goes into Trudy's room.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, I must protest. Have you no sense of what's appropriate?
Terrible screams from Trudy's room. Trudy comes rushing out, hysterical. Mr. Vanislaw follows behind, redoing his raincoat, laughing. She didn't like my devil tattoo.
Someone broke into my room.
Trudy, don't exaggerate. No one broke into your room. It wasn't even locked. And this is Mr. Vanislaw. He's our dinner guest.
Are you insane?
Why do people ask me that all the time? It's so rude. No, I'm not insane. Do I seem insane to you? And if I was insane, would I necessarily know it? I doubt it. So it's really a meaningless question. Mr. Vanislaw, do you think I'm insane?
Where's that person with the head in the box?
Well, now we don't know that there's a head in the box. It could just be hats.
Where is he? Where is he? Mr. Vanislaw briefly notices the laughter, but then focuses on trying to find the room of the person with the possible head in the box. However, he manages to go into all the wrong rooms.
Now, don't you go molesting him. Unlike my daughter, he's a boy. And it's not nice for a gentleman to molest a boy.
I don't understand. And it is all right for a man to molest a girl?
Well, it's certainly more normal. I'm sure he'll grant me that.
At Betty's room. Is this his room?
No, it's over there.
She points to Keith's room. Mr. Vanislaw opens the door, happy. Hello there, I'm come to get you. I let myself into Keith's room. There's a long silence.
Well, they seem to be getting along just fine.
Mother, why did you bring this person back to dinner?
Well, for company, for me, your father's dead. I need some male companionship. Don't you be too long in there, Mr. Vanislaw. You're my guest, don't forget. I'm not sure why everyone finds Keith so fascinating.
Well, he's sensitive and withdrawn. Sensible women like that.
I wonder if we should call the police about Keith.
I don't think so. He might interpret that wrong. I hope you're not dismembering bodies or anything in there.
In what way is that funny?
We're uncomfortable, and so we laughed. We didn't know what else to do.
Oh, odd.
Did anyone else just hear voices from the ceiling?
It's the people who've been laughing. They seem to be talking from time to time now.
Oh, well, if I'm the only one hearing it, maybe it's a reaction to being stung by the stingray.
But you're not the only one hearing it.
No one else seemed to hear it.
Mother, we all heard it.
Well, you're not a very reliable witness, Trudy. After all, you said your father forced you to have sex with him.
He did.
Well, that's not what he told me. He said you seduced him.
Mother, I was underage.
Never too young to be a flirt. Flirting with your father. It's disgusting. Why do you insist on being so competitive with me?
My therapist says I shouldn't even talk to you, and that it's impossible to debate anything with you because you're insane and you're sick.
Betty, do you talk to your mother this way?
No, but I wasn't molested by my father.
Well, neither was Trudy.
I was too.
Was not.
Was too.
Was not. Why is that funny?
You were arguing about something very serious in a childish way, and it made us laugh.
Well, you're just a bunch of insensitive boobs. That's all I can say.
Enter Buck.
Someone say something about boobs?
Hello, Buck. Aren't you attractive this evening? Tell me, you find me more attractive than my daughter Trudy, don't you?
Mother!
Trudy storms off to her room.
Trudy always overreacts to everything, and she's not good at putting out, while I am. We can keep the lights off so you don't see the welts from the stingrays.
Cool.
Betty, dear, you have a line.
Yes, sorry. Go away. Right, Mrs. Siezmagraff, I'm shocked.
Well, my husband's dead. My daughter is rude to me, and God knows when Mr. Vanislaw is coming out of that room with Keith. So, what else do you expect me to do?
I expect you to eat dinner and make pleasant conversation.
Well, microwave the dinner up later. Come on, Buck. Let me show you some tricks I learned when I visited my husband in prison.
Cool.
Cool.
Buck and Mrs. Siezmagraff go off to Mrs. Siezmagraff's room. Betty looks around the room.
But I've worked so hard on dinner.
Aww.
Scene 4. After dinner.
I'm so sorry.
Scene 4. After dinner. Everyone is playing charades. Mrs. Siezmagraff, Buck, Trudy, Betty. Keith is also present, but uncomfortable in a large group and unhappy to be part of a game. He has his arms wrapped around himself, like so. He mostly just watches what happens, but otherwise tries not to interact much. Betty is in the midst of her turn, which has been going on for a while. She is presently acting out a sneeze, but pulls on her ear to signal that it's a sounds like clue.
Sneeze.
No, sounds like sneeze. Knees.
Keys.
Fleas. March something fleas.
Not fleas.
Sleaze. Not sleaze.
Rhymes with sneeze. Everything rhymes with sneeze. I'm sick of this word. Go back to the fifth word again.
Betty holds up 5 fingers for the 5th word, taps her forearm with 1 finger, meaning first syllable.
Fifth word again. First syllable.
Cold. Freezing.
Fucking cold.
Shiver. Shiver me timbers.
March of the something shiver. Shock treatments?
Sudden chills. Oh, sudden chills. Chills. March of the something chills.
March of the Big Chills. That movie was cool.
March of the chill. March of the children. March of the Siamese children.
Yes! Finally!
Hooray!
What's March of the Siamese Children?
Didn't you ever see The King and I?
What? Shakespeare?
Maybe we should have a time limit. That took half an hour to get.
Ugh, I thought it would never end.
You did very well.
Whose turn is it? Keith's. Well, your turn is soon, Keith. But maybe Mr. Vanislaw can go next. Where is Mr. Vanislaw?
Mother, he's in the bathroom in Buck's room. Let's just leave him there.
Well, what's he doing there for half an hour? Mr. Vanislaw, we miss you. It's your turn. Are you going to come out soon?
She exits into Buck's room.
I think something's wrong with Mr. Vanislaw.
I think he's funny. He's a coot.
Well, Keith doesn't seem to like him. Keith, you didn't like Mr. Vanislaw, did you? What are the two of you doing there for so long?
Sorry.
What was funny? I don't understand.
We were
thinking of something else.
Keith looks startled. He's never heard the voices speak before. The others are blasé about it by now.
Well, please pay attention to us if you're going to laugh, please.
God, this is a weird house.
Enter Mrs. Siezmagraff, dragging Mr. Vanislaw by the hand.
Someone's going to have to mop up in there after Mr. Vanislaw. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Mother, why can't you have normal friends?
Well, why can't I have a normal daughter? Okay, where's a piece of paper for Mr. Vanislaw?
Betty offers Mrs. Siezmagraff the bowl of charade-titled papers. Mrs. Siezmagraff reaches in and hands Mr. Vanislaw one of the papers.
Now, can you read or are you on drugs?
I can read. It says...
No, don't tell us. Make us say the word by silent cues. Clues. This is charades. Remember we explained it to you before you went into the bathroom? Remember? Bach acted out Nutcracker Suite.
Nuts.
That's right, nuts. Now, keep your raincoat closed, Mr. Vanislaw. Betty and Trudy have made a special request.
They're very controlling.
Yes, they are. Keith, are you paying attention? Mr. Vanislaw is about to give clues.
Keith hunches up and looks frightened, looks away.
Well, listen closely then, Keith. If you have any ideas, just call them out. Okay, we'll start now. Mr. Vanislaw, begin now. Oh, wait. Tell us what we're going for. Is this a song title or a title of a book or a movie title or what? Well, fine. So we're going for something, but we don't know what. Okay, that's fine.
Why does he have to have a turn? He's a derelict.
Darling, don't you use that word. It's rude to Mr. Vanislaw. Go ahead, Mr. Vanislaw. First word. Yes, you got it. This is the first word. Now give us a clue.
This is a clue. What I'm doing.
Oh.
Finger.
No, not finger.
Don't speak, just shake your head. First word, not finger. Index finger. Index of forbidden books.
1. Is it the number 1?
Yes!
Mr. Vanislaw, no talking. Just nod yes or no, please. What is this? The second word. Say the second word.
Second word.
No, don't say it. Hold up 2 fingers for second word. Second word. All right, now give us a clue.
Arm.
Wrist.
Skin? Well, what are you doing? You keep touching your arm. Is it arm? Is it arm? Well, you nodded yes.
Touching your arm. Touching? Touch?
One touch.
One touch banking?
Sounds like. Very good. Is it the third word? Mr. Vanislaw, we told you no more flashing, people. We're playing a game now. There's a time for everything, and the time isn't now.
Get him out of here.
Oh, Trudy, you're such a withered prune.
Mr. Vanislaw keeps pointing to his genitals, going up to people and pointing.
Yes, we see it. Thank you. Now put it away. We're playing a game.
I know we're playing a game. This is a clue. Sounds like what I'm pointing at.
Oh, well, that's all right then, I guess. Girls, it's a clue. He's not being appropriate now after all.
One touch dick.
No, sounds like. So it couldn't be dick. One touch mick, pick, lick, sick.
One touch of Venus?
What?
The clue is penis. One touch of Venus.
Yes! 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 Ooh.
What's One Touch of Venus? A porno flick?
Well, in Mr. Vanislaw's version, I'm sure it is. Please close your coat now, Mr. Vanislaw. We guessed your title.
Mr. Vanislaw's victory dance is becoming less a dance and more just a shaking of his member upstage. Keith has a very clear view of Mr. Vanislaw's gyrations. He's initially embarrassed and looks away, but then he starts looking back and soon starts to smile a bit and enjoy Mr. Vanislaw's shaking of his genitals. The other characters are presently not paying much attention to Mr. Vanislaw.
Well, he did very well then, didn't he? He got that much faster than you got March of the Siamese Children, I must say.
This is the stupidest game of charades I've ever played. Let's call it quits. I want to do the dishes.
No, you made the dinner. I think Trudy should do the dishes.
Mother.
Mr. Vanislaw, close your coat now. Well, we've all gotten to the penis clue. It's time to move on to the other things now.
Everyone calms down. Mrs. Siezmagraff and Mr. Vanislaw sit down for a moment.
Keith, you're awfully silent. Do you have anything to say?
I was abused as a child. The memories are starting to come back to me. I think that's why I cut people's heads off.
No one moves. He gets up and goes to his room. Silence. Everyone stares, blank-faced.
Well, who's going to do the dishes?
I'll do him. Maybe you and Mr. Vanislaw want to take a walk by the ocean.
What a lovely idea. Thank you, Buck. Mr. Vanislaw, you want to take a lovely walk by the beach?
I can air my penis.
Well, yes, if it needs airing. My, you're quite a handful. Trudy, dear, don't wait up. Who knows when we'll be back?
Mrs. Siezmagraff and Mr. Vanislaw exit merrily out to the deck and the beach beyond.
I'm horny. I'm going to go to a singles bar and pick up some chicks.
I thought you were going to do the dishes.
No, you do them. I got to go get laid. Catch you later.
Buck exits. Betty and Trudy sit in silence for a second. They look pleasantly at one another. Betty and Trudy feel something vaguely unpleasant has happened, but they can't presently remember what it was. After a bit.
What did he say?
What?
Did he say he cut off heads?
I think so. Trudy, did you hear him say he cut off heads?
He said he was an abused child. I was an abused child too. I want to comfort him.
She goes to his door.
Keith, are you all right? Can I come in?
I'm busy now. Leave me alone, please.
He's so hard to have a relationship with.
Trudy, he said he cut off heads. I don't think that's funny.
No, you're right. It's not funny. Sorry.
Should we call the police?
No, Betty, he's in pain. Psychological pain.
I don't know. I don't feel that sorry for him if he's cutting people's heads off.
Well, he probably has an irresistible urge.
I suppose.
Were you abused very badly, Keith? I'd love to hear about it. I mean, if you'd like to share it with someone.
I don't like to talk about it. I'm sorry I brought it up.
Well, it's not good to keep your emotions in, Keith.
Please, I'm fine.
Keith, I want to comfort you.
Keith opens his door.
I know you're being nice, but I can't be around people for too much of a time, and the charades game your mother forced me to be around went on for hours. So please, let me be by myself.
Well, what are you doing in there all the time?
Nothing. I'm playing with my collection.
Oh, what collection?
Just various things I've collected.
Keith, what have you collected? Do you have body parts in your room?
Well, I have 2 feet.
Oh my God.
I have 2 feet on the end of my legs. They're standing inside the door, so I have 2 feet inside my room.
Oh, well, what's in your hat box?
Look, I can't talk anymore. I'm sorry. I have seizures if I talk to people for too long. You don't want me to have a seizure, do you?
No, I guess not.
Well, if you ever want to talk, I'm here, Keith, okay?
Yeah. Where's Mr. Vanislaw?
He's taking a walk with my mother.
Well, if you see him, tell him he can come in my room later.
Keith closes the door.
How could he possibly like Mr. Vanislaw?
Well, I think he's crazy.
Who, Mr. Vanislaw?
Well, he's crazy too, but I think Keith is crazy. This summer share isn't turning out at all as I imagined.
Really? I sort of imagined it this way.
You good?
Well, my mother always does something to cause trouble. I'm going to take some pills and go to sleep. Good night.
Trudy exits to her room.
That was so abrupt.
Yes, it was abrupt. Well, I guess I should do the dishes. Although I did cook the dinner, but then no one else will do them if I don't.
Don't do them if you don't want to.
Well, I suppose I could go for a walk.
That's a good idea. Go for a walk.
All right, I will. See you later.
She leaves.
Nothing's happening right now. I'm getting bored. Keith, do you want to come out and entertain us for a while? Keith? Well, he's hopeless. Gosh. We're just staring at the furniture. We're just staring. Somebody.
The lights go out. Scene 5. Later that night, the house is dark. Mrs. Siezmagraff and Mr. Vanislaw come stumbling in.
Shh! Awake, everyone.
She turns on the lights. I turn into a werewolf at 3 a.m.
Really? You know, I think I had too many margaritas. I think I have to lie down right away.
You feel lightheaded? Do some jumping jacks.
No, Mr. Vanislaw, I need to just rest a moment. Oh dear, excuse me, I need to lie down.
Mrs. Siezmagraff lies down, passes out. Mr. Vanislaw looks at her. Stupid cow. Can't hold her liquor. Keith looks out of his room. What's that? Somebody's pissing.
Mr. Vanislaw, I'm awake if you wanted to come visit for a while.
No, I want a woman now. Kicks the body of Mrs. Siezmagraff. Wake up, cow. Ah, she's a drunk. She can't stay awake after 7 margaritas. I could drink lighter fluid and it doesn't affect me.
Would you like to see more of my collection?
Which room is Betty in?
Betty doesn't like you.
That's all right. I enjoy struggle. What room is she in?
I don't want to say.
Oh, go to bed, little boy. You're annoying. Betty! Betty! Mr. Vanislaw goes off to Betty's room. Keith watches after him, disappointed, then goes back into his room, closes the door. A second later, Mr. Vanislaw comes out. She's not there. Where is the cowwoman's daughter? Oh, Trudy. Mr. Vanislaw is here. Mr. Vanislaw goes into Trudy's room. She screams. Keith pokes his head out of his room. Vocal sounds of struggle inside Trudy's room.
Trudy, are you all right?
Stop it! Help! Help!
Trudy, should I get your mother?
Trudy's struggle continues, but her sounds are more muffled now. Keith goes over to Mrs. Siezmagraff.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, can you wake up? It's your daughter. I think something is happening to her. Mrs. Siezmagraff.
Hello? Come in, please. Oh, my head. Good Lord.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, I think Trudy needs you.
Oh, that child. What is it this time?
I think Mr. Vanislaw is raping her.
Did Trudy tell you that? That girl thinks men are lusting after her continually, and between you and me, they're not.
I think he's raping her now.
Well, where is he? I don't even see him.
He's in her room.
Oh, for God's sake. Every time I get a husband or a boyfriend, Trudy's always after them. I hope you're not boring Mr. Vanislaw, Trudy.
She's not.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, you're not getting it. Mr. Vanislaw is taking Trudy against her will. Should we do something?
Do something? Yes, we should. Mr. Vanislaw, I think you should come out now. Trudy needs her sleep. Come on out, both of you.
I'm almost finished.
Now, I'm not kidding you two. Goodness. Well, now I'm getting annoyed. Stop that in there.
Mr. Vanislaw comes to the door, doing up his raincoat. What? What? I thought you were passed out.
Keith woke me.
So now that you're awake, what do you want?
Well, I hope you weren't forcing yourself on Trudy.
Every woman likes me, so no need for forcing. I need a nap. Where can I sleep?
Well, Mr. Vanislaw, I assumed you were going to stay with me.
I need rest. I can't have you groping me all night.
You can sleep in my room.
I'll rest in the boys' room. I like the things in his room. Good night. See you in the morning. Mr. Vanislaw goes off to Keith's room. Miss Siezmagraff looks depressed and disappointed. Keith thinks of Trudy.
Oh, Lord, this evening is turning out terribly. I thought I'd hear laughter after that.
We're very disturbed. We're not sure we feel like laughter.
Well, me neither.
I hope Trudy is all right.
Well, she's been through worse things. I'm sure she's fine.
Well, good night.
Keith goes off to his room. Mrs. Siezmagraff is at rest for a moment, blank. Suddenly she feels guilty about what Trudy's been through and creeps up to her door.
Trudy, dear, it's Mother. Are you all right? Should I come in? Do you want a hot cocoa?
Trudy comes storming out in t-shirt and underwear wrapped in a summer blanket. Miss Siezmagraff jumps back, startled.
Why didn't you call the police?
What for?
That horrible man was raping me.
I hate all this date rape talk.
This was not date rape. You brought a maniac degenerate into the house and he raped me. Well, you did nothing.
I drank 7 margaritas. Do you think I can be expected to be conscious after I drink 7 margaritas?
Well, in that case, no, just do nothing. It's perfectly understandable. Just like my father for 6 years.
Your father is dead, Trudy. Must you insist on speaking against your poor father after he's dead?
I hate you, and I hate my father, and I hate that man. Where is he?
He's with Keith. And I must say, I don't understand what the hell they could be doing.
Trudy goes to the kitchen, gets a large kitchen knife, and goes off into Keith's room.
Trudy, be nice now.
From inside Keith's room, a terrible scream from a man's voice. Ah! Mrs. Siezmagraff looks quizzical, decides it's probably nothing. Brief pause. Keith comes charging out of his room.
You better call the police.
I can't keep calling the police. They'll think I'm a crank.
Trudy comes stumbling out of the bedroom, carrying something we can't quite see in her upstage hand. She hands it to her mother.
Here, you take it. I don't want it.
What is it?
She stares at it. It's vaguely sausage-like, but we don't get a clear view of it.
I don't understand. What is it?
It's his penis, stupid.
She starts to move towards the bedroom, then toward the phone, then toward the kitchen. An emotional overload of choices. What to do next?
Oh my God, we've got to get an ambulance. Keith, put this on ice. We've got to get doctors to sew this back on.
I don't want doctors to sew this back on. Give it to me. I'll throw it in the ocean.
Trudy grabs it from her mother and heads towards the deck. Mrs. Siezmagraff stops her.
Trudy, if you throw that man's penis in the ocean, we won't be able to find it. How would you like it if someone cut your breasts off and threw it in the ocean? Would you like that?
He raped me.
Trudy shakes the disconnected member at her mother for emphasis. Perhaps the one and only time we see it clearly. Keith goes back into his bedroom.
Well, even if he did it, it wasn't irreparable. I mean, what you've done is a big overreaction.
Mrs. Siezmagraff grabs the member back from Trudy and goes toward the refrigerator.
Where are you going?
I'm putting this on ice.
She puts it in the freezer.
I don't want it in my refrigerator.
It's not your refrigerator. It's my house. I own it. Now stop acting like a spoiled brat. Oh, I better call an ambulance. Hello? 911? 911? Is anyone there?
You have to dial, Mother. You can't just pick up the phone and expect them to be there.
I did dial. Hello? Is this 911? There's an emergency here. We need help. A man has lost his penis and I have it in the refrigerator and I wonder if there's anyone you know who can sew it back on. No, I didn't do it. I'm not a maniac. It was my daughter. I don't know if he's conscious. Oh, wait, I'll go see.
She puts down the phone and goes into the bedroom. Trudy stays seated on the couch, sulky and chastised. Pause. Mrs. Siezmagraff screams from off stage, then comes running out.
Where is his head? What did you do with his head?
I didn't do anything to his head.
Well, he's headless. They're going to have to sew back on his penis and his head, or else he's going to be totally useless. If we can find the head.
You can't sew a head back on, Mother.
I invite a guest into this house, and this is how he is treated. This is a disgrace. Forget the whole thing. He's been beheaded. There's no point in attaching his penis anymore. Oh, I don't think so anyway.
Keith comes out of his room. He's not especially bloody, but is now wearing Mr. Vanislaw's raincoat.
He hurt Trudy. Trudy is an abused child like me.
Trudy looks at Keith gratefully, with love.
Abused child? You're both spoiled brats.
Mother, he raped me.
Well, fine. File a report with the police, but don't cut off his penis. And you, Keith, I assume it was you who cut off his head. Was that necessary?
Necessary? I don't know if it was necessary. Maybe.
The phone rings. Everyone looks at it. Siezmagraff, horrified. She can't imagine why it should ring or who it could be. She goes back to the phone and answers it.
Hello? What? Well, I hung up because he's dead now, I assume. You can't live with your head cut off, can you? Oh, please, do we have to involve the police in it? The people who cut his head off didn't mean to. It was an accident. I don't know how. Here, you speak to them.
She hands the phone to Trudy and goes to fix herself a drink from a table or shelf with liquor bottles on it.
Hello? What? Yeah, my name is Trudy. What? Yes, I did. Why? It was in self-defense. No, I didn't cut his head off. Keith did. Well, it was in self-defense too. Uh-huh. Well, can we just discuss it in the morning? Now, look, we have to go to the police station now. Well, it's awfully late. All right. The woman at 911 says we have to go to the police station.
Oh, Trudy, I don't know why you can't leave well enough alone. Come on, let's go. And I hope this won't take all night.
Trudy gets a coat from her room or slips into shorts or something. Mrs. Siezmagraff gulps down her drink, and then she, Trudy, and Keith head out the driveway through the upstage door. Mrs. Siezmagraff stares up at it, alarmed as if the house is haunted. They all exit. There's a pause.
We feel sick. We wish we were watching the Waltons.
Brief pause. Enter Betty, relaxed.
I feel much better after my walk.
Uh-oh.
Did you say uh-oh?
No, we didn't say anything. Pay no attention to us.
Suspicious, she starts to look around the empty cottage.
Is anyone here?
She notices that the door to Keith's room is wide open, which is unusual. Betty goes toward it.
Keith?
Betty goes into Keith's room from offstage. She comes running out, screams some more. Goes to the phone, dials, forgets how to talk, screams into the phone. And she listens.
What? There's a body, or part of a body, all bloody. I don't know where its head is. What? You know? What do you mean you know? Oh, someone already spoke to you from here. Uh-huh. All right. Well, what should I do? Just sit tight. All right, I will. Yes, thank you.
Betty hangs up, sits down, sits still, stares straight out, screams again. And/or cries a bit. Can't seem to figure out how to get through the next minutes.
Oh, God. I need a drink.
Betty goes to the table or shelf where the liquor is, grabs a big bottle of vodka, pours herself a good, stiff drink. She comes back to the couch, sips her drink. It's awfully strong and warm. Pause.
Oh, I need ice cubes. I knew something felt wrong.
Betty goes to the refrigerator, opens the freezer, looks in, screams in terror. She bolts backward into the room, dropping her glass, falling onto the floor. Blackout. Act 2, Scene 1. The living room. A short time after the previous scene, Betty's on the phone.
Mother, it's me. Well, not very well, actually. No, I'm not married yet. Yes, there are 2 men here, but I don't think either one of them are likely candidates. Well, I can't say why, Mother, but just trust me. Fine, I'll marry one of them. Do you want me to marry the macho pig or the serial killer? Well, I don't know how much they make a year. Mother, I called you because I was upset, but I think I'm going to hang up now. Never mind why I called. Well, there's a headless body in the bedroom and a penis in the refrigerator. Mother, are you there? Well, yes, the 2 things are connected, or rather, they were connected, but Keith or someone cut the body parts off. Well, I don't know why. That's just the sort of thing Keith does, Mother. Well, Mrs. Siezmagraff chose him. I didn't. No, the other one isn't nicer. On some level, I prefer Keith.
Get off the phone now. We want another scene.
Mother, the voices want me to get off the phone now. The voices? I'm not hearing voices, Mother. There are voices. Say something.
We love to laugh.
See? They said they love to laugh. Well, I don't know. Ever since we got here. Mother, they're just a fact. I can't stop them. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Get off the phone!
I have to go now, Mother. I'll probably leave here tomorrow. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, I'll try to get married, but I have to marry someone specific, don't I? Well, Daddy was specific, wasn't he? He wasn't. He was generic. In what way was Daddy generic? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. This is a longer conversation, Mother, and Daddy's not alive to defend himself.
How did he die?
He died of a heart attack.
Oh!
No, Mother, I didn't laugh. Yes, I know you and he... Yes, you know he died. I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the voices.
Sorry, where are
I
we?
wasn't in the sun today, Mother. Never mind. Forget it. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Entertain us, please.
What?
Entertain us.
What should I do?
Go to the refrigerator and look at the penis again.
I don't want to.
Please.
No, I don't want to.
Please.
Oh, all right.
Oh.
This is so stupid.
Open the freezer door.
Betty opens the freezer door, looks, runs to the sink, and vomits.
Oh, yeah!
Enter Buck.
Someone applauding for me?
No, it was for me.
Oh, yeah? What did you do?
I threw up.
Too much beer, huh? Grody.
Yeah.
I just balled 2 chicks at the beach. I think I got jizz left for one more. You in the mood?
I'm sick.
Want to feel my dick?
Ooh.
Shut up! Shut up!
What are you so upset about?
Doesn't it bother you that there are all these people in the ceiling?
Are they in the ceiling?
Or in the air? I don't know where they are, but don't they bother you?
No. I like them. They like me. I feel approval.
We like you. We intend to nominate you for a People's Choice Award.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Buck. Why don't you make yourself a drink and put some ice cubes in it?
Huh?
Make yourself a drink.
Okay.
Buck goes to the refrigerator, gets himself a beer.
Think I could do with the brew. What's the matter?
We want you to get ice cubes from the freezer.
Ice cubes for my beer?
Why didn't you have a vodka tonic or something?
I like beer.
She's right. Have a vodka.
All right. All right. You're right. They are kind of annoying.
He pours himself vodka in a glass.
Vodka tonic. Vodka's a drink for businessmen. I'm a surfer dude. I like beer or tequila with worms in it.
Stop complaining now. Get yourself some ice.
Okay. Okay.
Buck opens the freezer. Buck, without really looking in, takes ice from the freezer quickly, plops it in his drink, and shuts the freezer door.
There. I took some ice. You happy now?
I guess so.
Fucking hard to figure voices.
There's something you didn't see in the freezer.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
With irritation, he goes back to the freezer and looks in. He's initially uncertain about what he sees.
What is that? Oh,
Mr. Vanislaw.
What is this? Some sort of chick revenge thing?
I wasn't here when it happened. Do you want to see the headless body in the bedroom? I think that's Mr. Vanislaw too.
No, I don't want to see the headless body in the bedroom. What's the matter with you?
Mrs. Siezmagraff comes back in with Keith and Trudy.
We're back, and you should have heard the size of the bail we had to put up for these two. It's insane. People just never presumed innocent in this country anymore.
Innocent? There's a headless body in Keith's bedroom, and I found a penis in the refrigerator.
Yes, we know this. No need to rub it in.
I don't feel well. Any chance I could be committed somewhere?
Darling, we'll hire you the best lawyers. I'm sure we can get you off.
I'd like to get off.
Why don't you sleep with Keith?
Gross. He's another guy.
I want to go to my room.
You can't go to your room. There's a body in there.
We want to see Buck and Keith making out.
Well, you're going to have to wait a long time then.
You know, Buck, if you were in a submarine for 6 months, I bet you'd start to think Keith was looking pretty good.
No way, man.
Yes way.
This is really a side issue, isn't it? And I have a question. Why aren't the police here to remove the body and look for clues and all that?
They said they'd come here first thing tomorrow morning, and we weren't to touch anything.
But it's a crime scene. They should be here.
Darling, this is a summer community. Most of the police are in bed at this hour or off committing adultery with Adelaide Marshall.
Who's Adelaide Marshall?
She's the town randy widow.
Cool. Where's the phone book?
Over there.
Buck goes over to the shelf where the phone book is and starts paging through the M's.
Well, I don't find this appropriate police behavior. If nothing else, they should come and remove the body.
I told you, they said they'd remove it in the morning.
Got it.
Buck goes to the phone and dials.
Well, if I can't stay in my room, I need to get some things out of there and put them in another room. And then I need to be able to shut the door. I can't be around people this long.
You can stay in my room, Keith.
But you're a girl. It wouldn't be proper. Maybe I should stay in Buck's room like the voices said.
That's a good idea. We'd like to see Keith getting fucked by Buck. We're bored.
Be quiet. Hello? Adelaide? This is Buck. Are you there? Pick up if you're there. Well, maybe you're having group sex with the police, but I want to leave you my number, 556-6822. I'm a real sexy guy, and I think you'd have a good time, baby.
Ask her to come over, and then we can watch you, Keith, and Adelaide all together.
Why don't the voices want to watch me have sex?
You have a disturbing quality too, so you don't trigger our erotic imaginations.
And you think Keith isn't disturbing?
I find him very disturbing, but he's also strangely sweet. We plan to nominate him for a People's Choice Award.
Keith is initially pleased and a bit surprised at what the voices say, though then he starts to feel uncomfortable as well.
All this attention is making my head throb.
Kill someone then.
It's an idea.
Stop! Stop! The voices are talking too much. It's fine if they want to laugh from time to time. Well, it's not fine, but I'm oddly used to it. But enough of this urging sex and murder. We've had enough for one day. Life has to have some dignity too. It's not all disgusting and vicious.
She's right. Betty is right. Congratulations, Betty. You have appealed to our higher natures. We are ashamed of how we behaved a few minutes ago. But you are the voice of reason. You are the sort of person for whom the Waltons or Touched by an Angel is produced and aired. From now on, we will be good people. We love Betty. We send you kisses, Betty. Listen.
Well, thank you very much. I just feel that people do have aspirations to higher things, to decent living, and I just felt the need to remind everyone of that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. We enjoyed it.
I feel ashamed. I wish I hadn't cut his penis off.
I wish I were a fetus and hadn't been born yet.
I wish I was getting a blowjob.
Oh, Buck, you're so much fun. Betty, give him a blowjob.
What?
We enjoy how honest Buck is. He's so horny. Why don't you give him a blowjob?
I thought you wanted to aspire to higher things.
She's a prude. Why don't you take her in the other room and rape her, Buck? Rape both of them and videotape it because we want to watch it over and over.
I have to leave this house.
Look, Betty, if you keep overreacting to every little thing that happens in life, then you're going to grow up just like my worthless daughter, Trudy. You've got to learn how to have fun in life. I like to go, go, go. It's like Auntie Mame's said, life is a banquet and most poor suckers are starving to death. But me, I stuff myself at the banquet. I stuff my mouth full of shrimp and chopped liver and pastries and champagne, and I mush it all up and I ram it down my throat because I want to live.
Bravo, Mrs. Siezmagraff! You have the most wisdom. You offer a life is fun philosophy that is very life-affirming. We love you, Mrs. Siezmagraff. Auntie Mame, Storm the Greek, and now Mrs. Siezmagraff! We plan to nominate you for a People's Choice Award.
I seem to be the only one not nominated for a People's Choice Award.
I'm not nominated for a People's Choice Award.
Well, what should we do next? Canasta? Yahtzee? Strip poker?
I don't want to play strip poker.
Neither do I.
Oh, the young people nowadays, big bores.
Oh, the phone's going to ring.
They all look at the phone. It rings. Miss Siezmagraff is impressed. She goes to the phone.
Hello? Who is this? Oh, yes, he is. Hold on. It's Adelaide.
Hey, doll. How's it hanging? Yeah? How many men? How big was the biggest one? Oh, baby, I got him beat by a mile.
Well, hardly a mile. I've seen pictures.
You have?
Shh. Yeah, cool. What's your address? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You got it, babe. What? I doubt it, but I'll ask. Hey, Keith, you want to meet a foxy lady?
No, thank you.
Sorry, babe. Well, I'll see if I can pick up any hitchhikers. Cool. Okay, babe, I'm coming over. And then I'm coming. Thank God she called back. I have so much testosterone. If I don't come 20 times a day, my brain gets soggy. See you later.
Don't go, Buck!
Sorry, guys. I'll be back for my shut-eye.
Buck exits.
Well, I must say I feel a little offended. We've all been through a trying time tonight, but I feel as a group we should stick together, not go running off.
Well, you told him about the Randy widow, didn't you?
Oh, shut up, Trudy.
I have to go to bed now. My head hurts.
No, let's play a game. Or tell camp stories and roast marshmallows. Betty, you haven't had it that hard today. Want to stay up and keep me company and let the two psychos go to bed?
No, thank you, Mrs. Siezmagraff. I don't want to roast marshmallows with you. I, for one, want to go to bed and forget everything about this horrible day. And then when the police come tomorrow, I'm getting a bus schedule and I'm leaving here.
I need to lie down somewhere in quiet. Can't I just use my own room? I promise not to cut the body up.
Oh, do what you want to it. I don't care. I'm in a bad mood suddenly. I need sleep too. Trudy, go to your room. If you had never reacted to Mr. Vanislaw, this whole miserable thing wouldn't have happened.
I hate you. I wish you were dead.
Trudy runs off to her room. Keith starts to go to his room and stops.
You know, maybe I should stay in Buck's room tonight. I mean, so I don't do anything with the body.
I don't care what any of you people do. The younger generation is lacking in any gratitude and joie de vivre. Fuck you and all of your hat boxes.
Mrs. Siezmagraff storms off to her room.
Do you think Buck will be angry if he finds me in his room?
I don't know, Keith. I'm going to take a bath. I feel dirty.
You look dirty.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! To hell with my bath. I want to be unconscious right now.
Exits off to her bedroom, slams the door.
I've got to rest. I don't think Buck will mind. Good night.
Keith exits to Buck's room, maybe turns the lights out, Nothing happens for a while.
Well, gosh, I didn't think they were really going to bed. Oh, people, entertain us, please. Time to look in their freezer again. Or just come out and bicker in front of us again. And exchange insults. We love insult comedy. Entertain us, someone. Betty, Betty, oh, Betty.
There is quiet for a little bit.
To the bathroom night, it's Saturday night.
Tell us what Gwyneth Paltrow's doing right
If
there.
something about her vagina, it smells like her vagina. I love the smell of
Come back,
whiskey in the morning.
entertain us.
Shut up! I need desperately to sleep. If you don't shut up, I'm going to sleep on a sand dune.
There are terrible sounds of ripping, and a piece of the ceiling rips open, and out come 3 people, all joined together. They are the voices who have crashed through the ceiling. They don't quite look like people. They are an entity together. They are joined at the hip by tubing, like from a washing machine. This tubing is flexible and lets them move and stretch away from one another, but they nonetheless stay always connected. On their feet, there may be large garbage bags tied as enormous shoes. Coming out of the tops or sides of their heads are pieces of tubing with bits of wiring, as if they'd been living somehow inside the ceiling of the cottage, connected to wires and tubing and God knows what else. But they have now ripped themselves out of that situation to confront the people who have so rudely gone to bed and left them with nothing to watch. There are 3 of them, a man, a woman, and another man. Though meant to be one entity, distinct personalities. Betty screams when she sees them.
Yes!
Mrs. Siezmagraff!
The freezer again.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, Trudy, and Keith have all come charging out of their rooms. They are frightened and confused by what they see. Trudy and Keith are dressed for bed. Mrs. Siezmagraff has not changed clothes. Betty or Keith turn the lights on so we get a better look at the 3 voices.
Make us laugh, roast us out, tell us the latest news of Gwyneth Paltrow, show us naked pictures of Brad Pitt, vomit in the sink, entertain us. Wow!
Oh my God, what is it?
They came from the ceiling.
That's a good title. They came from the ceiling.
Who are you?
Do you play charades?
No, thank you. We prefer to watch.
Entertain us.
Me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. Me and my shadow.
Stop it! I don't know what's happening.
We are so intrigued by the case of the headless body with the penis in the refrigerator. We want this to go on Court TV.
Oh, what a good idea. And Trudy, darling, we'll have a marvelous attorney who can get you off.
We can't wait that long. We want the trial now.
But it's the middle of the night.
Now, gratify us now.
Gratify us now.
They're so demanding.
Now, Court TV, now.
All right. Wait a minute. Who are these creatures? Are they aliens? Should we call the police?
We can't keep calling the police every time some little thing happens. I mean, we're used to hearing them laugh all day long. Now they've just shown up in person.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, you are filled with wisdom. We love you.
Well, thank you. Now, how shall we begin the trial?
Well, I won't. It won't be binding. There's no judge, no jury. It's not even a real trial.
We know that, Betty, but it'll be a good practice for the real Court TV trial, and you'd all gone to bed, and we had nothing to look at.
Okay. Don't be mad.
Fucking cunt. That we don't want to offend you. We just want a little taste of what the case would be like on Court TV.
Yeah, we think it has great potential. We love the Lorena Bobbitt case. We love both cases, his and hers, and how juries found both of them innocent. I mean, in her trial, she seemed very sweet. Like when she cut off his penis, she was just pushed too far, and then he was abusive and horrible. And in this case, he seemed falsely accused. She seemed like a real maniac, and so both of them cut off. It was very, very amusing. it was a real exercise in switching your point of view.
It really held our attention, and we were thrilled when several months later, Lorena Bobbitt was arrested for beating up her mother. She constantly holds our attention.
We're angry that Andrew Cunanan died and didn't have a trial on television. We weren't ready for his story to be over. We wanted a few more killings and then a long, disgusting trial. We're angry that Michael Jackson's child molestation case was settled out of court. We wanted it on television. We wanted months and months of humiliating, degraded revelations, not just Ryan Murphy spin-offs. We wanted to know if his penis is discolored or not. Is it? Is it?
I'm sure I don't know.
Begin the trial, please.
Loud court TV-like music starts, pulsating, rhythmic, like the music that introduces the evening news or that introduces repeated news coverage of things with titles like Crisis in the White House or President Under Fire. The three voices disengage from any wires that help them lower themselves in the room, send them back up. The ceiling closes. Meanwhile, downstage, Mrs. Siezmagraff confers in whispers with Trudy and Keith on courtroom strategy. Keith seems resistant about something. Mrs. Siezmagraff hits him on the arm or shoulder a number of times. Trudy doesn't like that. Also at Mrs. Siezmagraff's instructions, Keith and Trudy move furniture around, get ready for the trial. The couch is moved, so it's the best place to be a jury box. And a chair is moved, so it can be the witness chair. The music finishes, the three voices sit on the couch.
I don't know which one of you should be Leslie Abramson. Betty, do you want to be?
I don't want anything to do with this.
It seems to me I'll have to be the defense attorney and defend my darling daughter, Trudy, who's been so wronged, and her interesting, disturbed friend, Keith, who, if one of them has to be punished, I think I'll sacrifice him.
Keith looks worried, but then goes and sits on the side out of the way.
Now, my first witness is Trudy Siezmagraff, accused of malicious assault and removing of genitals.
Trudy sits in the witness chair. Mrs. Siezmagraff stands by her.
How do you plead?
He raped me.
No, that's not a plea. Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
No, dear, we never say guilty. We say not guilty.
Well, I did cut off his penis, didn't I?
Darling, it's not your fault. He was raping you, and that was traumatizing. And you were also raped by your father, and both times your mother didn't help you or aid you, and you just had no choice except to cut his penis off. I mean, you did it as a statement, right?
Yes, it was a statement.
She looks over and checks to see how the jury / voices like this tack.
You didn't mean it to be irreparable. You intended that it would be sewn back on. Then it would have been fine, just like with Mr. Bobbitt, and he could have even made some pornographic films like Mr. Bobbitt, right?
That's right. I wanted to teach him a lesson, but I knew they could sew his penis back on.
We like that pornographic movies showing John Bobbitt having sex.
We're angry Tom Cruise doesn't show his penis.
You know, if I counted the number of times I've heard the word penis used today, I could... Well, I don't know what.
I'm sorry. Are you speaking as the prosecuting attorney or as Betty?
Well, Betty.
Well, we don't need to hear from Betty right now.
I'm not guilty. It was an impulse. I thought it could be put back on. I'm not responsible because I had a traumatic childhood.
Poor Trudy. We feel sorry for her.
Bitch cutting off his dick.
She was raped. She was upset. She took a knife and did what any normal woman would do.
I object.
Well, fuck you.
I just have to go on record saying I don't believe you are allowed to do anything you want just because you were upset or you had a bad childhood. I don't mean to minimize the rape. That is terrible. But there are police and courts, and you just don't take justice into your own hands. Look at the lynchings of blacks when that was done. Mob rule is a bad thing, whether it's done by a group of people or by one person. Trudy, I know it was awful, but you didn't have a right to do what you did. And Keith, you really didn't have a right to do what you did. We have to agree not to harm one another. That's one of the basic rules of civilization.
We are so moved. You have spoken eloquently. We will now nominate you for a People's Choice Award after all. You have once again appealed to our better nature.
Well, thank you.
Trudy, you have fallen from our favor. Betty has convinced us you are responsible for your actions. We want you to receive the death penalty, and we want to see you executed on television.
Kill her! Kill the bitch!
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh, now look what you've done. Don't worry, Trudy. Mama will save you.
Mrs. Siezmagraff begins to interrogate Trudy. Her voice doesn't change much from her usual voice, but it's more lawyerly, simple, to the point, like a good no-nonsense lawyer on court TV.
Trudy, you had a horrible childhood, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Your father molested you, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
And what of your mother?
She did nothing. When I told her about it, she called me a liar and a seducer.
I call Mrs. Siezmagraff to the witness stand. Mrs. Siezmagraff! Mrs. Siezmagraff! Come to the witness stand. Coming. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do. Mrs. Siezmagraff, you are the mother of the accused, are you not? Yes, I am. May I say that you're looking especially lovely this evening? Oh, thank you.
Objection!
Irrelevant. Sustained.
Mrs. Siezmagraff, did you know that your husband, Trudy's father, raped her repeatedly in her childhood? Did she tell you that? She's a liar.
Mama! Mama!
I have to tell the truth, Trudy. Mrs. Siezmagraff, is it not true that Trudy told you what was happening and you refused to believe her? She never told me. She never told me anything. I was a perfect mother. I don't know why she's telling these lies about me. I call to the stand Mrs. McGillicuddy, your Irish housekeeper. I never had a housekeeper. I don't know who you're talking about. Mrs. McGillicuddy, were you in the employ of Mrs. Siezmagraff over there? Were you not? Oh, the gosh and begarin, yes. I worked for Mrs. Siezmagraff for many years. That's a lie. She's a liar. Be quiet. Mrs. McGillicuddy, can you prove to us that you worked for Mrs. Siezmagraff? Oh, yes, my lord. Here are my pay stubs for me. We worked for 5 years. Those are forgeries. I've never seen this woman in my life. Begosh and McGarren, Mrs. Siezmagraff. Don't you recognize me? I'm Kathleen. I come all the way from Killarney to be with your family. And mind your little daughter, Trudy. I've never seen you. You're a liar. Listen to her accent. She's not really Irish. I am Irish. And I worked for you for 5 years. Trudy, remember me, don't you, Trudy?
Yeah, I remember you.
Trudy, you're lying. Don't be afraid of your mother, Trudy. Just tell the court the truth. Oh, Trudy, remember you and I spent many a happy hour. I would read you stories about the leprechauns and the funny mischief they would do. You remember, don't you, Trudy?
Yes, Mrs. McGillicuddy.
Mrs. McGillicuddy, did you ever see Trudy's father molest her? Yes, I did. She's lying! And do you have any first-hand knowledge that Trudy's mother knew her husband was molesting Trudy? Yes, I do. That's not true. She's lying. Mrs. McGillicuddy, what is the knowledge you have? On April 4th, 1978, Mrs. Siezmagraff said to me, I know my husband is raping my daughter, but I don't want to say anything to him because I'm afraid he'll leave me. You Irish pig! You liar! And when she said that, I happened to be speaking into a tape recorder, making a transcription of my special Irish stew recipe, and so I have a recording of her admission on the tape. So don't you be calling me a liar, Mrs. Siezmagraff. I'll take you to court and sue you for slander. It's true! It's true! I knew what was going on and I didn't stop it. I was afraid to lose him. It's my fault Trudy was molested over and over and over again. And no wonder she attacked Mr. Vanislaw. And I could have stopped Mr. Vanislaw's raping her, but I was drunk. I had 7 margaritas. And I passed out. Oh, I'm sorry, Trudy. I am sorry I ruined your life. Don't convict my daughter. It's my fault. I didn't protect her. It's my fault. Convict me. No.
She collapses to the ground, weeping. Trudy, weeping, embraces her mother. They hold each other and continue to weep. The 3 voices are moved, dab their eyes, and make sympathetic sounds.
We are so moved.
Trudy!
Oh, Mama.
We are moved out of our minds. We hereby acquit Trudy of all charges. Beloved Trudy,
you are free. Go and live your life.
The three voices beam and smile warmly at Trudy and Mrs. Siezmagraff. Look at those warm
Mama,
eyes.
thank you. At last I have the mother I always wanted. And for everything you did in the past. I forgive you.
It's about time.
What?
I'm just saying, you took a long time to get to forgiveness. A lot of children would have gotten over it a long time ago and not gone ballistic when some man in a raincoat showed them some attention.
I hate you.
She moves far away from her mother.
Well, your grateful period didn't last very long, did it?
now
Now
do
do
Keith's
Keith's
trial.
trial.
Oh, God, I don't have the energy. Betty, can you do it?
I'd rather not.
Look, I did the first one.
Try it, Betty.
Okay.
Mrs. Siezmagraff maybe gets herself a soda and hangs out with the jury for a bit. Betty stands by the witness chair, and Keith crosses to the chair, a bit pleased and excited at the attention he's about to get. He sits in the chair.
Keith, you cut the man's head off, right?
Yes.
And you knew what you were doing when you did that, right?
Yes.
And you've killed other people too, right?
No, stop. This is not how to do a trial. Gosh, it's pointless trying to delegate authority. I always have to do everything myself.
Betty gives up and walks away. Siezmagraff goes over to Keith in the witness chair.
Keith, you were molested, right? And treated very badly, right?
Yes, I was. I was molested by 20 people.
Well, you had quite a large family, didn't you? Or were some of those people neighbors? And never mind, we don't need to know.
We had cousins from the Ozarks living with us. Then they had all cross-pollinated.
Cross-pollinated. Please, don't make this too interesting. We have to move through this quickly. So, Keith, were you molested by 20 people and then you were criticized unrelentingly too, weren't you? Keith, you're too slow. Keith, you're too stupid. Keith, you're not man enough. Keith, you're this. Keith, you're that. Am I right, Keith?
Yes, that is right. All 20 members of my family said I was worthless.
You are worthless.
Yes, like that.
And Keith, right before you cut off Mr. Vanislaw's head, I bet he had been criticizing you, right?
I'm not sure.
God, you're stupid. Keith, think harder. I think Mr. Vanislaw criticized you unrelentingly, just like the members of your large family did. Is that right? Say yes.
Yes, he did.
And I bet you thought if he kept criticizing you, that your head would explode. Is that right, Keith? Say yes.
Yes, that's right.
And so because you literally thought your head would explode, you had to kill Mr. Vanislaw, didn't you? And thus your action was actually in self-defense. Am I right? Say yes.
You're correct. I did it to defend myself.
You see? He's innocent. He's innocent.
We see his pain. We hereby acquit him.
Go and find happiness, beloved Keith. You are free.
I'm free. I killed out of self-defense because I thought my head would explode.
That's right, Keith.
And also because I like to cut heads off.
You're a difficult client, Keith. We'll just take that last comment. It's kind of a joke, I guess. It was a joke, Keith?
Yes, I have a quiet sense of humor.
Yes, you do. Your actions are loud and noisy, but your humor is quiet. Now, we can stop court TV for a while. All this strategy and planning has made my head hurt. I've got to lie down. I think I have some Twinkies in my room. My blood sugar is dropping. Excuse me. I need some sugar and a nap.
Wait. Give us some of your wonderful philosophy again before you leave.
Oh, life is great. Live, live, live. Eat food at a banquet to life, l'chaim.
Mrs. Siezmagraff stumbles, dances off to her room. Trudy looks at Keith longingly.
Keith,
Yes,
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh.
Trudy goes over to Keith and reaches out to touch him.
Please don't touch me.
Uh-oh.
Okay, but someday I can touch you, can I?
I don't think so.
Life is so unhappy. I want to go to sleep now.
Me too.
Me 3.
No!
We're tired.
Keith, why don't you rest in my room? You don't want to be alone tonight, do you?
I like to be alone.
Don't go yet, please.
Well, Keith, I don't want to be alone. You can sleep on the whole other side of the room. I won't come near you, I promise. But I need your company.
We need company too.
Please, I'm exhausted, Keith. Will you come with me?
Oh, all right.
Don't go.
We're tired.
Trudy and Keith exit to Trudy's room.
Well, we're not tired. Don't leave us, Betty. Help us focus our minds on something.
We want to see naked pictures of Brad Pitt.
I want to see naked pictures of Cameron Diaz.
I want to see Hugh Grant in bed with a prostitute.
I want to see Clarence Thomas. I want to see Clarence Thomas. What is it?
Something.
I want to see Clarence Thomas giving Anita Hill a cocaine with a pubic hair on it.
No. That bitch, she lied. She told the truth.
Clarence Thomas likes movies starring Long John Silver.
We have that in common. I love
Sex
and also
murder.
wine. Really, a lot of wine.
Human interest.
Man, true chaos.
About
Really chaos
kittens,
across the
big
board.
dick,
Dogs.
man.
And I like
Just
dogs.
open the
I like not
casserole.
cleaning my room. I
The
like
3 voices all look at Betty.
Well, I do think it's rather late.
Betty tries to leave the room.
We're not done yet!
Now look, you've had a sexual assault, a removal of genitals, a beheading, and a simulation of a very dramatic trial. I don't know what else you want from us.
Do you have any of the